Hi Leo, welcome to August. This is Teresa from Tarot by T, and before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy and happy birthday for those of you celebrating a birthday in August. So this month we have a new moon in your sign, and there's a little bit of a tension because it's squaring Uranus, and then there's a full moon in Aquarius in your 7th house at the end of the month on the 22nd. That's going to be a lot more favorable because Jupiter's conjunct this full moon. So we'll get to that later. Venus moves into Libra, Mercury moves into Virgo, both of them in their own home sign. And Uranus in Taurus goes retrograde in the middle of August, around the 20th. So let's see what Leo needs to know. Let's see what the cards say, and then we'll get into the astrology later. So what does Leo need to know about love and relationships for the month of August 2021? What is coming up for Leo for the month of August 2021? What does Leo need to know? What does Leo need to know for love and relationships in August? Okay, let's see what we get. 6 of Cups, the Sun, the Strength card, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Chariot, the 8 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Cups. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the 6 of Swords. Okay, so this looks good, Leo. 6 of Cups, you're starting the month out with the 6 of Cups is about, you have 2 sixes, which are about harmony and improvement in this reading. And the 6 of Cups usually means moving on to something better, moving on to greater harmony. It can sometimes bring back someone from the past. You could be reconnecting with a past person. You could also be healing from the past as you move forward. So it's not just past people. The main message of the 6 of Cups is that harmony, greater harmony is coming in your relationships, in love, in your environment. So if you've been through a difficult time, things are going to get better. You're moving in a positive direction. And you might be healing from the past, learning lessons from the past. And even if you might be connecting with some past people, but you might be connecting with new people that resonate better with your energy. And the main thing is that you're learning from the past, and you don't want to make the same mistakes. So you're having like I feel like you have new opportunities coming in love, whether it's a new relationship or whether it's a renewal of an old relationship. Sometimes that can, you can be, have a rebirth in a current relationship. It doesn't always have to mean, you're breaking up and you're starting something new. But whatever it is, you have learned lessons, and you're wanting to make the future better. And the future, you are moving in a positive direction. You have the Sun here, which is a great card. The Sun gives you the energy to overcome any problems that you're experiencing this month in love or relationships. And the Sun can also it represents childhood joy, childlike joy. So you could be connecting with someone that really brings a lot of happiness, makes you feel good. When you spend time with this person, you really feel good about it. You feel, like you're living your best life, or you feel like a kid again. It brings back that childlike energy when you were a kid and you just, went out and play, and you didn't have any worries on your mind. You're just having fun. That's the Sun. The Sun is like, okay, I've been through this big storm, and now the sky clears and the sun is out. It's that kind of energy. In the past, you have the Strength card. You could have been dealing with someone. This could be you or the other person. The Strength card is about learning how to control your emotions, control your animal nature, control your anger, control your reaction, your reactiveness. It's about, taming the beast within. So you could have been dealing with anger issues in the past, or dealing with someone who had anger issues. Sometimes the Strength card can come up when you need psychological counseling, or that could help a relationship. You might be dealing with someone who's very difficult, who has emotional problems. If it's not you, it could be your partner. And that's something that you have dealt with in the past. But I feel like you're moving away from that because you have the Six of Swords here and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like a change in you could be changing where you live or moving away. If you're not physically moving, it could be more of a metaphorical move, like you're leaving troubles behind with the Six of Swords. This person is, navigating troubled waters. That's in the past, so you have that in the past, but now you're moving ahead toward more harmony, a calmer, more harmonious situation. And it could have happened unexpectedly because the Wheel of Fortune, things are changing. So you might have been struggling with something, carrying a heavy burden. You have this Ten of Wands here in the reading, which is, a lot of responsibility, feeling weighted down by your problems. But the good thing about the Ten of Wands is you're putting the burden down. You're going to have an opportunity to put that burden down because the Wheel of Fortune is like, okay, you've been through the mill, but things are changing. Now you're moving into a more positive time. So here you have these two aces, which represent new beginnings. The Ace of Cups, there could be a new beginning in love, either a new relationship on the horizon, and it's just forming. So it's not here yet. The card that's in this position is an influence that's just starting to take shape. What's going to happen before that might be the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is about a tangible new beginning. Like it could be money. A money issue gets resolved. You may get a job offer. Sometimes the Ace of Pentacles represents a job offer that's coming in that's going to bring in more money. You're getting more financial support. Maybe you're taking a new direction with your career. You have the Eight of Pentacles here in your environment. This is the card of the apprentice, being at the beginning stages of something. So there could be like a shift in your energy this month where you're going to be shifting to a career that pays more, or you're taking care of financial matters. You're being more cautious in how you spend your money. But these are both time cards. So the Ace of Cups, this new beginning, is June, July, August. So I feel like at the end of July, you may have had an opportunity for a new beginning. It's already starting. I feel like the energy has already started, but it may not manifest completely, excuse me, until the end of the year, because this is like the culmination. This is like, all the cards, all the aces are new beginnings, but a lot of the new beginnings are either a new beginning in thinking and feeling and taking action, planting seeds. The Ace of Pentacles is the only card, the only ace that is giving you a tangible result, the reward. So you may be like working along those lines all summer, like from now until like the end of the year. But by the end of the year, you're going to see the results of all your efforts. And because this card represents December, January, February. So I feel like, but this is the time when all those seeds start getting planted. This is the time when the energy is starting to shift and you can start to see improvements, even though it may be slow. So don't give up hope, but you are on track for a better future, a better time. In your negative thinking, you have the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is a card of victory. It's also a travel card, a movement card. So I wouldn't be surprised if either you're planning on changing your residence or you've just recently moved somewhere. But the Chariot is also about victory through discipline and focus. So maybe I feel like you've been scattered. Your energy has been scattered, because you also have the Seven of Cups here, which is a card of being stuck in the choices. So I think you're going to have more than one opportunity coming up this year. And you're going to have to really think about which is the best option for you and choose. Because I feel like you've got too many irons in the fire right now. And you're not focusing on what you really want. So with the Chariot, it's telling you, you can get what you want, but you have to focus. So if there's anything that's distracting you from the main goal, like think about it. What do I really want in a relationship? What do I really want in my career? What do I really want in life that's going to bring me to this place of joy, the sun? And don't get distracted by the other options, because I feel like when you focus on what you really want, you have a greater chance of getting it. But when you diffuse your energy, then you're kind of like, you're not giving it your all, and it's going to take longer to manifest. So this month is a month of figuring out what you want and zeroing in on it. And like I said, with this Eight of Pentacles, it could take, you're at the beginning stages, so don't rush things. Take your time. Just be there, show up every day, give it the effort it needs, and eventually by the end of the year, you're going to see how much your life has improved. And especially, I love this Ten of Wands, because this means you are putting down a burden. You are going to resolve something that's been weighing on you, that's been, you've been carrying this heavy load. Sometimes the Ten of Wands can represent back problems or, physical problems with your bones and stuff like that, but it can also be like, metaphorically, I'm carrying everybody's, the weight of the world, and it's wearing me out. So you need to put it down. Stop taking responsibility for everybody else's problem. Focus on what you really need to move forward and to move out of difficulty. But I feel like you'll see that. You may not see it right at the beginning of the month because we have some tense astrological aspects coming up. But more toward the end of the month and toward the end of the year, especially by the full moon in Leo, I feel like you're going to see the reward. So the main thing that you have to do with the Seven of Cups that this reading is saying, new beginnings are coming and things are going to get better, but you have to know, but you're going to have to make some choices. You have to know what you want, and you have to choose what you want and let some things go. So let's see what the astrology says. So here you have the new moon in your first house. So it's like it's like you're being reborn. You have an opportunity to present a new face to the world or a new image to the world. There may be some tension in the 10th house with Uranus, with career matters. You might be really busy at work. Maybe you want to start a new relationship, but you have too many responsibilities. Work is because Uranus brings in unexpected things. So something may come in out of the blue that you have to deal with around this new moon. So even if you may want to reach out to someone and talk, because Mercury is in your first house, you're more communicative. Mercury is about speaking up, telling the story, sharing your opinions, your ideas, communicating. So if you get a curveball in your career, you may have to speak up about it. You may even find yourself on a new path, career-wise. You also have, this new moon is trining Chiron in the 9th house. And the 9th house is about higher education, your spiritual belief system, travel, long-distance travel, teaching, learning. So maybe you have some wounds around that you have to heal. Like maybe a part of you is feeling like I don't have enough training. Like I want to take this new opportunity, but I don't have enough training, or I don't have enough education. Or maybe my wisdom, people won't take me seriously. I want to share my knowledge, but I'm not being taken seriously. So you have to, you may have some insecurities around that, sharing your wisdom, teaching your, if you're older, you may want to teach what you've learned. If you're younger, you may feel like, well, I need more training. I want to advance in my career, but I need more training. So you might be thinking about going back to school to solve that issue. Now, Venus is in Virgo at this new moon, and it's opposing Neptune. Venus is in the 2nd house, opposing Neptune in the 8th. So there could be some confusion around money with Neptune. This could work out two different ways. If you're dealing with anything that's artistic, this is a great aspect because you're getting inspiration. You might be doing something that involves creativity that can bring more money in. If it's something that's not related to like art, music, photography, film, dance, anything creative, then if it's just getting financial backing, there could be some things that you have to really look into more deeply. There could be some things that are obscured. Like you have to find out, like don't invest in something unless you know all the details. Check all the details first. Now, Venus in the 2nd house is positive usually. Usually when Venus is in your 2nd house, it brings money in. But Neptune might be, like money might be coming in, but it might be going out just as quickly because Neptune dissolves whatever it touches. So You may have to watch your money. Don't spend too much. Like you may think I have all this money and then you find out, well, I don't really. So don't overspend during this time. Venus is also trining Pluto in the 6th house. So this is really a good time to take care of some kind of health issue. It's also a good time, like Pluto is transforming your work environment. So maybe you're moving into a new location work-wise and you have to spend money to fix up your place or business or whatever, and it's costing more money than you thought it was going to cost. I mean, there could be some surprises around money coming up. So just be aware and just, just look beneath the surface, check all the details, read the fine print. You have Saturn. Now this new moon has a wide opposition to Saturn. It's like 7 degrees. It's already it's like a separating aspect. But Saturn's in your 7th house. So if you're trying, there could be some relationship issues that come up at this time. Maybe a relationship feels really heavy. You feel like you have a lot of responsibilities around this relationship, and you're thinking, should I start a new, you might be thinking of you could either decide like maybe I want to start a new relationship, but it could also be that you decide to have a conversation about it, that you start to talk to the person and say, hey, look, we need to share responsibilities. We need to sit down and discuss who does what, who's responsible for what. Because when Saturn goes through the 7th house, it's not a very warm and fuzzy time in relationships. It's showing you the reality of your connection. So you might have thought, oh, we have this great relationship, and all of a sudden Saturn hits it. And then Saturn's saying, no, maybe there are some things that you haven't noticed. And now Saturn's going to show you the reality. It's going to show you where you need to take responsibility, where you need to get serious. So some of you may want to make a commitment, but you have to look realistically at your relationships at this time and realize what's expected of you. It's not always negative. If Saturn shows you the reality, you may decide, I don't like the reality. Like maybe you thought someone cared about you and you realize they don't. Or maybe you're expected to do more than you were prepared to do, and you're not willing to do that. So some of you may decide, this relationship isn't worth the work that I'm putting in, and I'd rather just move on. But others may decide, you know what, I really care about this person and I want to step up to the plate and I do want to make this work. And I'm willing to do the hard work to make this a success. So it could go either way. It really is a personal thing depending on where you're at in the relationship. But Saturn it's sextile Chiron, so there is something that has to be resolved. There is some healing that needs to be done. And I think mostly because this new moon is conjunct Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication, sharing ideas, it's really important to overcome the hurdles is that you communicate your need. You can't just expect things to just clear up on their own. It's going to involve communication. It's going to involve work. And you can do it. You can make things better, but you have to speak up. And you have to really know what it is you want so you can ask for what you want. So then we have this full moon. It's a blue moon. It's another moon because last month we had a full moon in Aquarius. This is the second full moon in Aquarius. Last month it was at like 1 degree. This month it's at 29 degrees. So you're ending a cycle in a relationship this month. And this is happening in your 7th house. The good thing is the moon is conjunct Jupiter. So that's a very positive aspect. When Jupiter's in your 7th house, it can bring a wealthy partner your way if you're not involved with anyone. It brings abundance. It brings opportunity. It brings someone who's very positive, someone who has positive energy, optimism. But it's a 29th degree and it's a full moon. So something is culminating at this time, but in a good way. So you could maybe decide, you finally make a decision. I don't want to waste my time with someone that I'm not really compatible with, and I'm going to leave it. But I do want to find a new person that I can be with. Jupiter will help you. Jupiter's going to be in your 7th house now that it moved back into Aquarius. It will be in your 7th house till the end of the year. So if you're not with the right person, you can find the right person now. Or it can mean, yes, I'm willing to do the work, and things change. Things are changing in a good way. Now, Mercury at this full moon, Mercury is going to be opposing Neptune from your second house, and Neptune's in your eighth house. So even more, if you have to sign any contracts that involve finances, money that, like getting a loan from a bank or anything that involves any kind of financial support, just be very careful that you know what you're getting into. If someone says, hey, I'll give you a loan, or I'll give you the money and then you can pay me back, or whatever. Or even if you're giving money to someone comes to you and says, hey, I need to borrow money to, whatever. Just make sure, because Neptune can be deceptive when it comes to contracts and communication. And it may be outright deception, outright lying, or it could just be miscommunication, misunderstanding. So that's why it's really important to communicate clearly. Make sure you're being understood. Read the fine print. Let your lawyer look things over. Just don't sign on the dotted line until you've checked all the details. Now, also, Venus is in your third house, and it's trining Saturn in the seventh. So this is really great for relationships. Any relationship that you start or form at this time is going to be in place for a long time. There could be an age difference between you. The other person, your partner, may be more mature. One of you might be older, more mature. And Venus is in the third house, so in Libra, it could be that you're out socializing, you run into someone that's intriguing, or you might be connecting, because the third house is more of a party kind of, it's your local environment, you're running around town, you might meet someone that you think, hey, I can really connect with this person. The third house also rules siblings, so maybe you're reconnecting with family, with siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, and it's a positive experience. You might even be connecting with friends because you have the North Node in the 11th house, and that's part of this grand trine, Venus, Saturn, and the North Node in Gemini. You might be hearing from people that, friends and groups that you belong to, and things might get more social. So if you're meeting someone under these conditions, Venus trine Saturn it brings longevity and stability to a relationship. It may not be the most exciting partnership, but it's something that's, the person's going to be there for you. And let's see, what else? We have Uranus in your 10th, Chiron in your 9th. We already went over that. Mars is conjunct Mercury this month, and that's in your second house. So Mars may raise your expenses when Mars is in the second house, and it may spur you or it may inspire you to take action on a money situation. Like, okay, I've got all these expenses. I've got to find a way to bring in more money. And so you're going to take action while Mars is there. The second house is also the house of self-esteem and self-worth and what you value. So you really have to look at, what am I spending my money on? What am I getting paid enough for what I'm doing, for the work that I'm doing? Am I being valued? What do I value about me? And not settling for less. It's about speaking up, communicating, taking action to make sure you get what you deserve, both in relationships and in money, in financial situations, so that you can feel more secure. Working on that. If you have this feeling of insecurity, you have to work on that. Mars is like, whatever Mars touches, that's where your energy is. So your energy is going to be focused on financial security, financial abundance, trying to bring in more money, and how you can do that. Okay, I did the Venus trine Saturn. Mars in Virgo is also going to trine Uranus, and Uranus is in your, let me see, where do I have Uranus? Oh, in your 10th house. So you could even decide to look for another job. If your current job is not paying you enough, or you don't feel supported financially, or you don't feel valued, you might be looking at suddenly changing your career path to something that brings in more abundance. That's another, and that would fit with the cards here, because this Ace of Pentacles is a job offer that can pay. Ace of Pentacles is wealth card. It brings in money. It brings in opportunity. But that would be more toward the end of the year. So if you're not making enough at your job, if you're not feeling valued at your current career path, you may decide to take a different approach, to get some skills or training in a different area and move into a more lucrative profession. But the signs are good. It's very positive. you can achieve whatever you set out to do. You just have to decide what it is you want and then focus your energy. So that's my forecast, Leo. It looks really good for you this month and also toward the remainder of the year. I feel like a lot of good things are going to be coming into your life, but you have to take action. And you have to stop wasting your time on things that do not serve you. Leave the past behind. Don't get involved in drama if someone's pushing your buttons. But move ahead with optimism and with joy. You can have a situation, both the relationship where you're having fun and you're enjoying the person and you really, you love each other. You can have that. And you can have a career that's paying you what you're worth, where you're doing work that you love. You can have it all. And you can put your burden down. So don't be afraid to make some decisions and to take action toward your dreams, because I think you can achieve them, starting with August. August is going to be the trigger. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, leave a comment if this really resonated with you. I'd love to read your comments. And if you'd like a private reading where we talk about just your specific situation, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. We'll get you on the schedule, and we'll be working together. In the meantime, I want to say thank you, everyone, for supporting this channel. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, ordering readings, commenting. I love all of you, and I wish you nothing but success and joy this month, and happy birthday again. And I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.